guys, how's it going? So we finally got our launchers diamond. Now let me go ahead and hit y'all with a little bit of a heads up, man. I have been fighting a cold for the past 3 days and have barely slept. So the main reason I'm wearing my sunglasses is because my eyeballs look like I've been smoking that crack cocaine, baby. But all we rocking on is caffeine. But my mental functionality here is it's on a downward trend at the moment. But anyways, there isn't going to be any gameplay in this because the gameplay is pretty, well, it's not irrelevant, but it's not important for the explanation aspect of the tips and tricks that I am going to be running you guys through. But I'm just going to be telling y'all what I've found worked the best to speed through most of the camos for the RPG and the Sigma 2 rocket launchers. And I was going to cover these separate, but I just think most of the things are relatively similar. So we're just going to look at each camo section, and I'm going to explain kind of the game modes and some of the tactics that I used when doing and working on each one of them. So for the spray camo, 5 eliminations, RPG and multiplayer, super easy. Originally I thought that hardcore would be the best way to go. But I found that playing core is definitely the way to go in terms of getting kills. The hardest one to get the eliminations with is the Sigma, but like just the amount of time you'll spend using it in game to get the other things unlocked for it, it adds up fast. So like I don't even worry about that first one. It can seem daunting at first, especially with the Sigma, but not that big of a deal. Also, in terms of leveling up the rocket launchers, the Sigmas, you can level it up super fast because, you can lock on score streaks. Normally, depending on game mode, it doesn't really matter what game mode. You're going to get probably at least 5 UAVs or 5 aerial score streaks. It'll be super easy to get with the Sigma. But I took, because just to do it, I leveled my RPGs up a lot in double weapon XP and zombies. If it's double weapon XP and you just like to play multiplayer, by all means stick with multiplayer. So for the Bangle, destroy 25 equipment, score streaks, or vehicles in multiplayer. Once again, super easy with the RPG and the Sigma especially, because just locking onto all the UAVs. With the RPG, it was a lot easier because like sentry guns and stuff, and the equipment aspect of it, because just like with the equipment, I mean, whenever you see, the bouncing Bettys, which, the trip mines, same thing, whatever, or just any of that stuff, it's super easy to kill field mic, and that counts towards what you're working with. I think for the Sigma, I don't remember if that one's exactly the same because they are slightly different. Okay, no, okay, so they're the same up until, or are they all the same? I think they're all the same. I spent so much time doing them that I about forgot which one was which by the time I got to the end diamond, because I'll tell you here in a minute which one took me the absolute longest despite having all of them open and available. But going to classic, so get 2 kills without dying 3 times, with all kills coming from each rocket launcher. By far the hardest with the Sigma. Not too bad with the RPG on Nuketown 24/7. I will say this real quick. Let's take a little segue to the perks, because this is an extremely important part of your success with these rocket launchers. You gotta have Flak Jacket, because to take and really guarantee a lot of kills, you're going to have to take and like point blank just shoot somebody in the face. So having Flak Jacket and a stem shot, so that after you get your health down, you can stab yourself in the heart with that good old juice. Gotta have Scavenger, because you only get like a limited amount of ammunition, and you're going to constantly rely on picking up more ammo. And I mean, if you're playing certain game modes have the ammo crates, but that's very inconvenient depending on where you spawn at. So gotta have Scavenger. Then going on to the third perk, depending on which one you're working on, this one can be a little bit, on the whatever side. Like whenever you're going for your 3 kills without dying, or 2 kills without dying, however many times, Ghost is big because, it keeps you off the mini map. But when you're trying to get them aerial score streaks, especially with the RPG, you're going to want to have, where'd it go? You're going to want to have Cold-Blooded. I don't have it on RPG class because that was like one of the last things to do. So the Stealth Chopper is one of the easiest ones to get. I mostly shot down UAVs because I got a pretty good angle system, and that's something that there's no definitive measuring for it. Like the best thing I found was be directly under UAVs and then just put it at the top of like the rectangular sight that's on the RPG, and right when the UAV takes and crosses the top of it, let it loose. And that's how I got the most consistent UAV kills with the RPG. Obviously the Sigma's easy because it locks onto it and it's not that big of a deal, but you'll find that whenever we get down to the one that is talking about destroying aerial score streaks, that's the problem. But so blockade, destroy 5 ground-based score streaks or vehicles. The vehicles is what you want to do for that one is go into let me show you this right here. So the thing that got me the most vehicle kills by far was like you can go with combined. It's got to be combined arms. You go combined arms, domination, assault, hardpoint. I would stick with domination due to the length of the game. Hardpoint would also be a good option because you know, if you get crossroads and stuff, see, Miami's not that good, and Armada is okay. With Armada, people typically don't use the boats that much, so that one, you know, was hit or miss. But on Crossroads and Cartel, people are normally always riding them dirt bikes. You got the jet skis, and you got tanks on Crossroads. So lots of options to work with there. So going back to what we got here, what's the next one we was looking at? So this one, yeah, destroyed the ground-based score streaks. Not that big. That one, I was stupid about that one because I was mainly waiting for people to hit out RCXDs and sentry guns. So that was something that I ended up just goofing on, but definitely go with the Crossroads deal on that one. For the Florida, destroy 5 aerial score streaks. So this one finished 4 or 5 games, Sigma's going to be done with it. This was one of the last ones that I had with the RPG because people just stopped calling in stealth choppers. When there was a lot of stealth choppers, it was easy. You could do, I mean, all day, every day. If there's people calling in care packages and you got the right line of sight, super easy to take and do that. But like the last 15, I ended up having to shoot down UAVs, and that was actual dick cancer, baby, let me tell you. Okay, going on to the next one. Destroy 3 score streaks or enemy vehicles in a single game 5 times in multiplayer. This was the ultimate last one for both of just for this one, just for the RPG. I finished the Sigma pretty fast. The Sigma, the one that took me the longest was get the 2 kills without dying multiple times, because that thing literally just sneezes on people like it barely hurts them. But with this, same thing. I just went with the Armada, the Crossroads. Jesus Christ, bro! I'm telling you, like I said, I hadn't slept in like 3 days. Well, I slept a little bit, but that's besides the point. Combined arms, there we go. Combined arms was by far the best for that. So whenever you're working on the launchers, you're honestly just better off to play the combined arms, unless you're just working on getting the kills without dying, like the multiple kills without dying. That one's better on the smaller map like Nuketown. But going back into it, what we got? So we're down here. So like I said, with this one, stick with the combined arms. Kill 2 or more enemies rapidly 5 times. That was also one of the last ones I had for the Sigma. With the RPG, wasn't that bad. What I would normally do is I would take and have like a sub or something as a primary, and then I would try to like tag people up, like on Nuketown, which is, you know, a small map. There's constantly people clustering up in the garage, clustering up in upstairs windows, and if you play domination on Nuketown, you're going to get a lot of people hopping on the zones at the same time, or hardpoint. So hardpoint domination on Nuketown was what got me through that one the quickest. And there is that. Let me take and just double check. Let me run through the Sigma one more time and make sure we ain't missing nothing on this one that I need to tell you, because all these are the same. And once again, I wouldn't do hardpoint because the problem is, you normally can get people, like a lot of people run flak jackets, so you're going to be getting people down and need to take and pop them twice, and in hardcore you don't have the option to do that. So stick with core, even though players have more health or whatever. If people are running flak jacket in hardcore, it's still going to take and just get them down to a little bit of health, and in that time they're going to take and just end your career immediately. So, you know, stick with the core. Let me double check the game modes again, just make sure there's nothing else I need to mention while I'm at it. Once, you know, Nuketown, Express, I tried Express, but Express is not a good map for this, in my opinion, like for working on this. So there's too many long lines of sight that you have to take and maneuver around. and Nuketown's just better overall for the close-up stuff. I tried some of these other game modes, but combined arms domination, that's really where, you know, everything just kind of clicked with me at the end, and I was able to speed through the final processes, and what's allowing me to take and speed through working on the M79 grenade launcher. That's going to be set. There's a lot of principles that apply working with the M79 as the rocket launcher. However, there is some differences and like some discrepancies that I will be mentioning in its own video. But look, guys, that's really the bread and butter of it. And you know, like the launchers can be one of the most frustrating. They are the most God dang, bro! I have lost at least 50,000 brain cells in the past 24 hours. The launchers can be the most frustrating weapons to do camos for. So at the end, the thing that I also recommend the most is just have them equipped early on as your secondary, because we're just going into the second season. So there's a lot of you guys that are probably going to see this, that, you know, you just get in the game and you might be on season 4. So just go ahead and equip these as your secondaries, and I give up speaking at this point. Equip these as your secondaries so you can work on different aspects of it as you also work on your primary weapons, and then that way you'll be further along when you get to the, you know, when you get done with your primaries, and then you can solely focus on the launchers. And once you're going to want to pull your hair out, maybe pull your teeth out too, but at the end of the day, hopefully it'll be worth it, because I mean, the good old, you can't see it good, and that's the problem, but the DM Ultra Camo is starting to grow on me quite a bit. But there you have it. Look, guys, if you have any questions about the launchers or whatever, hit me up in the comments section, and I will do my best to answer it. I don't think I left anything out from the tips and tricks that I found personally that worked for me and what I did to, you know, expedite my launcher camo process. It seems like it took longer because I had it equipped as a secondary for so long. Once I actually stopped and focused solely on the launchers, I was able to, you know, really take off with it. But I'm glad I didn't do them first, because if I started with just the launchers, like solely, and didn't touch anything else until I got them done, I'm sure I'd have been happy to be done with them. But I would have had to, you know, like not play the game for 2 weeks, because I would have been so full of just hatred for the game at that point in time. But look, anyways, there you go, guys. There you have it. Once again, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, share with your friends, and until the next one, adios.